Hello and welcome to Wiffle Center. I'm your host Freddie Smith along with my co-host Frank Smith. Today we'll be running through Week 6 scores, stats, highlights, interviews, and analysis to keep you up to date on what's been happening in the lswbl.
We had a full slate of games this week, so let's get right to the action.
Pro Whackers versus Bayside Tigers. Not even Zach Morris could get Bayside into this game. It was all Pro Whackers who have been on a roll lately. Mark Minnie shoots one to left. He was 5 for 5, three home runs, 10 RBIs. He was unstoppable today. Bayside had no answers, and they only had 3 players. There was nothing they could do. Ryan Burke, he would step up and hit a home run, but that only gets them within 7. They end up losing it by 10. Mark Minnie was the player of the day. He was with David Fox.
This is the lswbl here, Week 6, with Mark Minnie of the Pro Whackers. How'd you feel about that victory today, Mark?
It felt good.
The Bayside was the league's last undefeated team before today. I think that was a pretty big victory for moving up in the power rankings.
I think it was. I know they had a tough time. All their players didn't show up, but it feels good. I think we did good on defense and on offense.
Yeah, offensively, you really were a star today for the Whackers. You were 5 for 5 with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. You think your teammates are going to start a little lobbying for an MVP award?
I hope so. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm just going to go out there every game and try my hardest.
Any predictions for how you guys are going to finish in the tournament?
I'd like to say first, but we'll wait and see. Other teams could have good games. We could have bad games, or we could play extremely well and win. I don't know.
I like that prediction there, Mark. Thanks for having us this week.
Thank you.
How about that, Mark Minnie?
You know, the great part about Mark Minnie is he's just as nice off the field as he is good on the field. But let's not forget, that wasn't the only game on Saturday. There were 2 more games. Let's see how they went.
The newly improved Beach Boys added a couple more wins to their belt as they prove to be one of the better teams in the league going into the tournament.
It was an evening of warm welcomes for Mark Spiegel, except for from one team, the Ball Smackers. Let's check out the highlights.
Instead of highlights, how about we just tell you what happened? It was the Ball Smackers 13-9 over the Snuffs. David Fox had a great game. Here's his voice. David, big win over the Snuffs this week. But tell me, are you guys at the form you were at in 2006 when you went to the championship?
Yeah, actually, I've noticed I feel, there's some comparative feelings there. 2 years ago, we had a much better time batting and scoring runs. It was a lot easier, and that way we won more close games. And, when we came up to the plate, we felt like we always had a chance to come back and win. Last year, we really struggled from the plate. A lot of that was me. I had career lows in average and RBIs and that sort of thing. We just didn't have a whole lot of offensive power. And this year, we got that back. We've got Andy Kelly, rookie on our team. He's RBI leader in the league right now, and John, and I think our team even has one of the highest batting averages.
The streaky Halo Spartans are coming off of a good victory in week number 5, but can they keep the good run going in week number 6?
The Halo Spartans started off big early with Tommy Gavin, hitting one deep to left field and gone. But that wouldn't last long, as the Untouchables would get up to the plate, and they would just rock Halo Spartan pitching. Nothing you could really do, though. They were just swinging the bats great. Cole Julo was throwing up some good pitches, but they were all over him. This game got out of hand late, and Halo had nothing they could do about it. It was hot, and nobody wanted to be there after a while. It just kept going and going. Eventually, Halo would fall 21-8. Nathan Neske, player of the game.
Well, we didn't see that game going like that, did we, Fred?
No, sir. Here's more from Sunday.
Thanks for scores from Sunday.
In one of the more turdier fest of turd fests that I've ever seen, the Diablos finally pull away a Bobby's World, and Shazam did what they always do. They win. But somehow, they always win. Seriously, always quit winning.
It was a battle of 2 of the top teams in the league this week as CLS took on the Long Balls. Let's see what happened.
Number 2 long balls versus number 5 Custard's last stand. It was going to be a battle, and it was hot outside. Derek Conway leads off the game. Home run, deep center field. But Jordan Carey for the long balls would come back in the next inning, and he would tie it up. CLS looking to get back on the board. Freddie Smith, first pitch from Spiegel deep to left. That puts CLS ahead again. Robbie Reynolds gets it back to back, but Jordan Carey will tie it up again. Finally, CLS would put it away. This shot makes it 6-3. The long balls would not score again. It was the CLS defense that would take over today. Here, Kyle Julo tosses one over to the Moose, and he makes a great stretch. This time, Derek Conway is going to help himself out, throwing out Jordan Carey from his knees. CLS will take the game 13-3. Player of the game, Derek Conway.
The Bully bats have been red hot this year, and it didn't stop this week.
Yeah, Bully jumped on Athlete's Foot early this week and didn't look back.
Bully Wheat's been on fire recently. Athlete's Foot has been declining, and it would stay the same way. Mike Spiegel early in the first, deep to center. Here he is again in the first, deep to center again. But Joey Pruitt would have the biggest day as he goes deep to left a couple times here. Matt York looking to join in on the fun. He's shirtless. It must have been hot. He goes deep to center. That one almost hit the swing set. Now Joey Pruitt up again. He's going to go one more time. Joey Pruitt would end up on the day 8 for 9, 6 home runs, 9 RBIs. Bully 30-4 over the foot.
A week removed from the top 10, Smirnoff looks to get back into the win column, while Schwartz tries to avoid their third loss of the weekend.
What?
It was early in the game, but Schwartz was looking like they came out ready to play. That didn't last very long. Alex Sapola picking up Smirnoff. Later in the game, it was Chris Cousins going deep to left. And then you could just sense that it was slipping through Schwartz's hands. And then you could see it slip through Schwartz's hands. Smirnoff wins 17-10. Alex Sapola, 8 for 10, 4 home runs, and 7 RBIs, the player of the game.
It was a battle of the sexies, Big Sexy versus Frank. Here's the highlights.
Big Sexy finally gets to play a game against the Tanks. It was Jared Hearn early, deep to left. Big Sexy was pretty relentless today. CLS had a few highlights. Brian Comiskey with the big pump fake and the peg. But it was Michael Day with the play of the week. Nice dive. Let's see it again. Oh, that's so sweet. And what does he do the next at bat? After shaking it off, he's going to come up to the plate and drive one deep to left. And I mean deep. That's a hard swing. Brad Octorloni later in the game would peg Mrs. Freddie Smith in the face and then go deep to center again. Brad Octorloni, good player of the game. 8 for 12, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. Our last highlight of this wiffle center is the Snuffs and Desperados. Not much of a highlight for the Desperados, but Brian Kerp had himself a day at the plate and on the mound. Here he is hitting a couple bombs to left, driving in runs. Then he steps out to the mound and just makes people look silly. What are you supposed to do with that? And then gets him swinging. Brian Wayner going deep to left. Just out, but enough. Pat Stevie would add on, but it was way too little too late as the Desperados scored 10, but still dropped 23-10.
So that wraps up our first edition of Wiffle Center. I'm Freddie Smith, and this is my co-host, Frank Smith. Have a nice day.
We'll see you next week.